Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about this Orbs Away milestone. We're a few days into it at this point. Wanted to kind of share with you, not an approach necessarily, but for you to know exactly how much you need to blitz, essentially, to hit the final milestone. Are you on track? Are you not on track? Obviously, some of this stuff is, like I said, a few days old. You're like, well, I'm already in milestone 18 or 10 or 6 or whatever you might be on. Like, I've actually looked at it where it was like not just how much you need to start, but how many more blitzes you need to do from this point going forward. So there's still a point to this, in my opinion. If you're trying to get that final milestone, are you blitzing like crazy? Do you need to blitz like crazy? Plan ahead a little bit on this, and I'm here to try to help you guys out with that. So let's take a look at some of the numbers and see if you are on track. All right, so Orbs Away. So, I'd love to have done this, the first day this event happened, family stuff, etc. So like I said, I tried to make the spreadsheet that I'm going to show you in a minute so that you could kind of see where you're at now and determine how far you can get. So I'm hoping that this video is still worthwhile to some of you guys. Sometimes real life happens, so you just can't jump on these things right away. So anyway, for those of you who are trying to get to the end, I'm sure you're, wherever you're at, you can see I'm a decent way away, or decent way through milestone 17. I don't know, what is it, 30? So yeah, I'm a little halfway over. So, and obviously there's these different point totals per milestone. And then the scoring is, per open each one of these orbs. Now, in my other video, I talked about, ways to just increase your score. I'm not doing that in this video. I'm not interested in that theory. This theory is all about just where you're at and how far you can get and what's it going to take to get there. And meaning, like, so you need to blitz 10 times a day or 100 times a day or whatever it might be. So that's really what we're going to focus on here, so that you can, really optimize to try to get to, maybe milestone 30, milestone 29, whatever it might be. Okay. So let's jump into the spreadsheet. All right, so, I started at milestone 13 and went to 30, and I wrote the total points needed here. That's kind of the basis of this thing. It started August 24th. I think it goes through September 5th, if I got my dates right. So, you guys comment below if I've got anything, messed up or screwed up. The general idea here is it should give you the gist of what you need to do, regardless of, a few minor errors or something like that. But I think I've got everything pretty much dialed in. So the first part that I kind of looked at here was points per Marvel Anniversary Orb opening, 125, scoring super basic. So from there, I was like, orbs required to meet a specific milestone. And you can see that it was like, all right, so this is the points needed divided by the specific per orb. And it's like, all right, that gives you how many orbs you need. And that formula is copied all the way down. So it's, you essentially need 92 orbs to be able to get through the 30 milestones. You could have done that in 2 seconds. That's not really what I'm here to share, but that's kind of the basis of this thing. So the next part is Marvel Anniversary Orb fragments required for that many orbs. So again, simple formula, but it's that many orbs times 2,000. So it's like, wow, I need 183,000 fragments to get that many orbs. So I'm like, okay. So that's really kind of where the basis we're at with that item. And I call that, A. It's column E, but it's just A for now. So one of the things you'll notice, and let's jump back to the game real quick. So one of the things, like I said, you'll notice here is in these Iron Fist Blitz is that you were able to get some orb fragments from blitzing. So I believe that total is 4,000. That you could get specifically from just doing this specific blitz. So if you add it, there's 2, there's 3, there's 37, and there's 4. So that's 4,000 orb fragments that you can get from just doing the blitz milestones. So that helps kind of dent into that. So what I've got here is this column here. So I'm like, well, let's take off at least 4,000 fragments that you're going to get from just doing the blitz. Now, what I'm doing is assuming this next step is that we've got 3 other blitzes that are going to happen between now and then. So I've added another 4,000 Marvel Orb fragments per blitz that you could get if you get the milestones, which reduces the whole thing by 16,000. So to me, this is kind of where I'm at with kind of the basis of this, how many orb fragments you essentially need for each milestone. So I'm like, okay. So, and again, this is just A minus B, where you're sitting here looking at this many orb fragments you need minus how many you get from there. So this is our baseline, because assuming you're going to get those from just getting your milestones, which should be super easy. And then from there, it's like, okay, so I've got that many total. Number of Blitz wins needed. All right, so it's like, well, wait a minute. How do you know that's how many you need, right? So let's look at that. All right, so the number of Blitz wins needed, like I said, is this formula. So I'm dividing, I've got this number divided by something. So scrolling down here, this is the part where the science gets, kind of what I call swagging, scientific wild ass guess. So the potential frags that I've seen from Blitz, 50, 100, 200, 400, 450, 1,000, 2,000. There might be some other in between, but that's the general idea here. Again, we don't know the percentages, but I kind of plug some based on knowing what Foxnext kind of does and what I'm really seeing. Sample size is nowhere near big enough. This is not meant to be 100% accurate. Again, giving you an idea. So it looks like pretty much 50%, you get 50, 80% of the time, 100, maybe 10, and then the percents reduce after that. So to me, that gives you a kind of an expected value of about 105 per Blitz. Again, you'll get a 2,000 every once in a while, or a 450 that kind of brings that 50 value up. So that mean average is the 105. So that's what we're using in this formula here. So it's like when we're talking about number of Blitz wins needed, we're talking about the number of Marvel Anniversary Orb frags required divided by this 105. And that's where you get, so I need 1,500 or 1,600 Blitz wins essentially to get to milestone 30 in, 11 to 13 days, depending where you're at. So that's a lot of wins. Some people I've seen have 3,000 or 4,000 total. So it's like, can you do that? So on top of that, this is the part where I've tried to do something to help you understand based on where you're at currently. Because some of you, I think you saw I was at 17. So it's like, all right, well, I just need to know how many blitzes wins I need here. I'll link the spreadsheet in the description below so you can look at it and do the math on yourself. So you can see the sum here is I need, around 1,150 wins to get done in the next 11 days. So now it's about, how many of that per day. The math's easy there. That divided by how many days left. That part, everyone's capable of doing, just this part, if you're going to use it. Anything in this video, this is the part we're going to take. Find the milestone you're at. See how many Blitz wins you need from this point going to the last one, and see how many days are left. That's it. Super simple. So did a little bit more just to kind of show you guys number of Blitz wins needed per day as of. So, and again, I realize some people might not watch this today or tomorrow or next day. I just did 3 days and you can see days left. So, to get to, as of the 25th, to get, you need 144 per day to get that far. From assuming you've got 0. Yeah, let's just say I'm not yet to milestone 17. Okay, so that's where, let's just use that as the basis of where I'm at. So again, back here on the spreadsheet, so let's go from 17 on. That's, if you see in the bottom right hand corner here, that's, 1,234 Blitz wins I need. Right, so 1,234 divided by, and it's essentially 11 days left. It's 113 wins per day if I need. Okay, now to me it's like, all right, so well, how many Blitz teams do I think I can win? Okay, you go here and it's like, all right, well, how many teams do I've got? Now I've been winning with pretty much every one of these, and this is only one aspect of these orbs, so don't freak out when you see these numbers. So I've got all 15 slots figured out, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it's like, all right, so I've got, in theory, 15 wins per run, right? So that's still 7.5 runs a day. Okay, am I blitzing for, it's like 14 hours a day to do that? Oh, like, look, I love Blitz. I've said this in another video, I've got like 20,000 wins in Blitz, so let me say, I don't love Blitz anymore. I just do it to get shards because I think it's the best way to get shards, the free way. So, this is a monumental effort here. Now, the good thing is, is that the actual game there's another milestone here that you can get more orb fragments. So in the Alliance participation milestone, the Bombastic Blitz, you can see that you get, you know, an orb here. So this helps reduce some of that total. So you get what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, a potential 13 more orbs from your Alliance if you max out. Let's just say 10 for simplicity's sake. So if that's the case, you're really looking at, like, if you get 10 from that, you're looking at, well, what's it going to take to get to milestone 28? Because really that's your 30, because that's 10 less. So I'm talking about not 91 orbs, but 81 orbs that I need, because I'm getting another 10 from my Alliance group. So if you just look at that and do the math from there, you know, it's a little bit more reasonable, where it's like, all right, so if you go to here to 17, you know, it's 1054. So 1054 divided by 11 is 95 wins, you know, per day over the course of the next 11 days, which isn't terrible, you know. And then it's like, okay, so if I've got 15 teams, that's 6, 7 blitzing 6 or 7 times a day, which seems like, if you set a timer and you're good about it, pretty doable, right? So it's hard, it's not easy, but you know, to get the final milestone shouldn't be easy. It should be effort, it should be hard. So I think that pretty much wraps up kind of what I'm looking at here. You know, it's, again, I'll link this in the description below. This tool is meant to help you say, this is where I'm at, it's how much I've got left. You know, it gives you kind of a rough order of magnitude of, you know, where you're at and what you need to do. And then also remember that you've got your Alliance going too. So hopefully you're getting some help there. If not, you can still grind it out if you need to get those Namor shards. Yeah, let's wrap this bad boy up and put a bow on it, and hopefully it can be helpful to you guys. All right, so again, I would have loved to get this out for you guys the first day this milestone kind of came out, but real life happens sometimes. But I still wanted to get it out to you guys, and I tried to do it in a manner that would be helpful to you, that regardless of where you're at in the milestones, you could still see what you need to do from this point going forward. And then also factor in some of the other things that are happening in the game with your Alliance, etc. And there's some ebb and flow to this where, you know, maybe another Blitz might not give you 4,000 fragments, etc. But this should give you an idea of what you need to generally be doing per day to be able to get as far as you can, if not the final milestone, to get as many of those fragments or Namor shards as you can. So I hope this was somewhat helpful. Again, the link to the spreadsheet will be in the description below. As always, appreciate you guys stopping by. You know, feel free to hammer down on that like button, click the subscription button, notification bell, share with your friends. Again, I always say this, but I try to do these videos to help folks figure out how to plan things, be structured, be efficient, etc. That's how I've gotten to where I'm at in the game. You know, obviously it takes some money to get another threshold, but a lot of what my roster is about, in my opinion, is that plan, structured efficiency. So that's what I'm trying to do here. And as always, appreciate you stopping by, and hope to see you again soon. Thanks.